Ask for the truth on behalf of Emma Murfi concerning career issues, and ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we just cut the deck and just move it to the side here for you there, Emma. And I'll deal 3 cards. The first card we deal is in the position of the recent past. This is a period of time between now and this time last month. So you could say between now and the 4th of April, couldn't you? The next card we deal is in the position of the present, so of course that's now. That's Emma Murfi right now, and then Emma Murfi, her career and whatever. Between now and the 4th of June we just place there, so that's the 3. I suppose you could say beginning, middle and end, couldn't you? The beginning, middle and end of a story. Let's see what happened at the beginning of the story. I suppose you could have say establish the situation, couldn't you? Between now and this time last month, what was going on, what energy was vibrating, as you would say. Let's just rotate this energy here. You got the Hermit, a major arcana card. The second time that's come today, isn't it? The Hermit can represent deep inner wisdom, can represent solitude, can indicate that the situation that you were in is your situation, although it symbolises loneliness. I suppose in the negative term it can be, in a negative sort of way it can be loneliness, but it's more solitude, although even one can be amongst a lot of friends, where one can nevertheless feel alone, can't one? In this case, I get a sense as though there's been a touch of mindfulness going on, maybe a bit of solitude, a bit of focus on the self, a bit of focus on the internal, a bit of just concentrating on what's been going on between you and yourself. Maybe trying to communicate with oneself about why, what, this, why, there, and wherefore about the situation. Because you've questioned about your career situation, then this will be relevant to that, won't it? In the sense that maybe you've just been spending some time alone, seriously thinking about your career and how it affects you. How it affects you personally, how it affects you deep down. Is this the right one for you or not? The right career move for you? Or if there isn't a career, if there's no job there at the minute, what am I best going for based upon maybe the job I had last time? Should I change direction? All these questions, the moth flying toward the flame, the lantern of occult science, and the moth, which is you being attracted to the true you, the true self. And that's, the moth symbolises you, I suppose, trying to tune into the true you. The crow in the background there, notice crow as king, carrying the soul from darkness into light, as one has recently been on that sort of quest, you would say. Let's just see what's going on now, though. What energy is vibrating right now? The 3 of Cups. The Lord of Abundance, Crowley calls that. Although, I suppose, really, yes, in that sense, 2's company, 3's a crowd, but of course, Cups is to do with the element of water, isn't it? It's a minor arcana card, whereas you had no control over what happened just recently with the major arcana. Yes, you had decisions, you could always make choices, but it was more of a permanent thing, whereas here you are able to change things right now. The element of water, the cups, which symbolises emotions or feelings, because it's supposed to, it's related to time, where the sun sets in the west. Spirit of the west, it represents that, because it's thought to flow like time. Water flows like time, and in that regard, it's to do with feelings that flow. And of course, time is the healer, isn't it? 3, well, the number 3, I mean, the numbers 2 and 3 are to do with the element of air, which is creative and transmissive powers. So maybe you could say creative and transmissive powers of mental and moral qualities, where water has mental and moral qualities. Any number, the numbers 4 to 9, it represents that, doesn't it? So the creative and transmissive powers of mental and moral qualities, in the sense of communicating one's morals. In this particular case, it refers to things coming to fruition, things being realised right now. Maybe that's what it is. The mindfulness or the search within. The focus on the self, as you would say, and all there may be the conclusions that you drew upon it, or whatever that you came to, or whatever. Everything is sort of like, well, not everything, but certainly a lot of things have been coming to fruition from a career point of view. Things are being realised right now, anyway. At the time when you asked the question, of course, which is a few days ago now, wasn't it? So we've only got around to doing the reading. Maybe right now, of course, things are coming to fruition, being realised in that sense, rising up from the darkness. It gives you that sort of feel, as though it's rising up from the darkness, isn't it? And things aren't exactly what you thought they were. Maybe they're better than what you thought they were, but nevertheless they could be worse. I don't know. Let's see what the immediate future is. We'll work out what becomes of it, regardless of whatever you've learnt, whatever you now know. The Queen of Wands, the watery part of fire. I suppose you could say about that quenching the fire, isn't it? But she's got control. But nevertheless, yes, she's got the Aries, the Sagittarius and Leo, the control side of it. But nevertheless, she's a good planner. What's that about? Well, of course, other than having, you know, emotions of energy in the sense of mental and moral qualities of spiritual essence, she's a good planner because she's represented here as a spider. Crow represents the Queen of Wands as a spider sister, as you could say. She spins her web and waits for things to come to her. She plans things. She calculates and theorises, and I suppose in a way that's what it's about. Between now and this time next month, it's more about planning for the future. You've done the analysis of oneself, the mindfulness side, and checked about what's going on within you internally. Things are coming to fruition now, but of course then it's time to plan. Of course, from a career point of view, I get a sort of sense as though there's nothing coming between now and this time next month. It's more about planning for what comes after that. And I think you probably know what we're on about here, but I suppose in a way you're buying time. Although that sounds a bit, I mean, of course, if you're not in work, you're not making money, so it's not helping you financially. But nevertheless, you're buying time in the sense you're able to use that time. You can either wander like a wandering spirit, or you can explore, can't you? And lay a trap, so that whatever does come that can be trapped or caught, will be caught in the interim whilst you're planning and working out what to do next. Because this is about what you want for you as well. It isn't about what others can offer you, what jobs others have got to offer you, is it? It's about what jobs you want to do, or what career move you want to make, based upon whatever conclusion you came to when you were searching within yourself. Is the job that I've just lost, maybe should I just go and try and get the same job somewhere else, or is it time for a career move? Whatever it is, has come to fruition now. I would assume you realise what it is now, but now, between now and the 4th of June, or between now and that, the next moon phase or whatever, that's time to plan for it, for whatever's happening now, coming to some fruition, making itself known to you. It's time to plan for it between now and next month. So, like I say, you've got a bit of time to buy, although time is of the essence, but nevertheless, there's nothing between now until around, I suppose you could say, the 4th of July, couldn't you? Independence Day, I suppose, if you want to go to the sort of literal figures, although nothing is, it's all a dark art, isn't it? Nothing is set in stone. The decision, nevertheless, is yours, and you do have power to change it, because it's a minor arcana energy. So minor arcana energies, as of now, up to between now and the next month or so, you have power to change it. You now didn't have power to change anything. It was more permanent just recently, because of the situation that you were in, where you were searching within yourself. Why has this happened? Well, regardless of that, the shit's happened, and that's the end of it. You can't do anything about it. But from now on, yes, you had a choice then, but you had no power over it. But now you do have power over it, and you will have power over it then. So you'll be able to plan. And Crow is sending Spider Sister to say, plan, try and be creative, try and plan for the future. Although, nevertheless, maybe with feeling, maybe with emotion, nevertheless, but plan nevertheless. And of course, if you plan with a lot of feeling and put a lot of feeling into it, into the energy that, energise it with feeling, work from the gut. I got a sort of feeling as though it's saying work with the gut, because of the emotional side, the watery side of fire, as you would say, the queen being that. Use your intuition, follow your intuition to see what that reveals, and maybe, just maybe, that is where the truth resides. But for now, the truth has spoken through these cards.